Life Day almost here. Season 12 of PvP has finally started, and we'll also be talking tonight about everything else in 6.0.2, including a couple surprises. These topics and more, boy, that was kind of awkward. Please allow myself to introduce myself and tell you that these topics and more are coming up on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 320, so right over here. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Hi, Max. Hi, everyone. It's going pretty well. I'm excited for the holiday season. So I've been that's why I had to go AFK for a second there. Package arrived.
Oh,
Christmas presents for me from family.
really?
Yes. But yeah, SWTOR wise, Star Wars The Old Republic. So this week, we had a very special MFN. We combined Mega and MFN to one super night for December, and we went to Corellia for one thing. One of the things we did was we went to Corellia and killed an unlucky. And by unkilled, I mean take off all your gear and let him kill you so you can get the unlucky title.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to do that every so often.
Take off all
as we
our
get
gear?
new...
Yeah, we do that like 3 times a night.
Oh my god. We also killed a few commanders. We did world bosses. We had awesome bounty hunter related or Mandalorian related trivia. Not about the show, but
Right.
about...
It was really good. It was
Yeah.
old school Mandalorian trivia, including
Right, because...
including the question that we spoiled
Yeah.
last week on the podcast. So Mal, one of our officers who puts together the trivia, if you remember last week on the podcast, we were talking about, and I said, and I got really excited. I was like, and I like, because last week on the podcast I was like, mythosaurs. That would be a great answer because those are the ancient creatures that the Mandalorians would ride. So that question, Mal still put the question in. He knew that happened, and I got really excited. I was like, I know this one. Can you believe it? I don't know how, but I know this question. I was like, I don't usually answer the questions that let other people win in the trivia contest, but I
Yeah,
jumped
he
right in
lets other people win.
because because I can't compete with Thon. That's why I let other people
Yeah.
win. But and then I forgot that I had given away the answer on the
Right.
previous week.
I forgot I told myself that answer a week ago.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
my life in a nutshell.
The mythosaur.
But yeah, that was really, really fun night.
Yeah.
And we just had our ops team night tonight. We did basically gear runs. We took a couple of attempts on Colossal Monolith because that's what we got in the group finder.
Right.
Which, we made some good progress, but we decided that even if we stayed there and finished learning the fight and got him down, we wouldn't get as much gear as if we went and did something else. So
Yeah, we
we
had like
went
half
and
the group
did...
had never done it before, so we explained it.
Yeah.
We worked it out. We got him down to 17%. We were like, well, we could sit here and we could do this a couple more times and we could finish it, or we could go get a whole bunch of gear because not everybody's at 306 yet. So that's what we did. But
But we definitely want to go back and do that because
yeah,
that's a good fight.
yeah, I'd say we do, but I wouldn't. I think I would kind of prefer that it wasn't in the rotation for just doing a random operation every time you want to do one. Because you have a
Yeah,
1 in 4 chance of getting it every
I
night,
would go. Yeah, I would go with that.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've
So
interrupted you twice here.
we left the Colossal Monolith alive, and we went to and did a quick run of Ravagers to finish out the night, which also got us a bunch of conquest points. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a win. I am leveling my... Oh, I've leveled so many characters lately, but I leveled... So I forgot, but I leveled... Oh, I have an operative that has no crafting skills. She's only underworld trading, slicing, and diplomacy. And so she kind of tends to get left behind in conquest because she can't
Yeah.
make invasion forces. She can't, whatever. So she's still level 70. So I started leveling her this week. So doing conquest activities. I don't know why I do it that way, but I do like to do it. I mean, I could do it in a half an hour if I would go do the Onderon story, but instead I go do this. Go figure.
Yeah.
But it is you know, it's everyone has their own way, I guess. I am going to go play through the story a few more times. I'm just working up to it.
I have a character like that that has all three of the gathering crew skills so that it can go to a couple of the planets when I'm doing a bunch of crafting and do a bunch of stuff. It's also my PvP character. It's my Sork. So I do play it. It is 75. It does have gear, but it does get it does make it a little bit harder on those conquest weeks because you can't throw in the extra stuff as you mentioned.
Right.
It's like feels like a little bit of a
But
flaw.
it's almost easier now though with the way Conquest is now, because if you
Mm-hmm.
get to a point where you just need 1,000 points or 2,000 points, you can go and do a couple of activities that give you 650 points each, which every heroic does, every planetary heroic. You could go do your favorite 2-minute heroic and get 650 points if that's what you need to finish off your character.
Yes.
Um,
And for me on that character, I can go PvP, and PvP, even if it's not the meta
oh, even
objective
more,
to do the
yeah.
weekly, you get like a couple thousand points for, or at least 1,000 points for a law, even a loss. So any given week, so it's fine.
And she's an operative, so this week one of the conquest objectives is a Voss heroic, and I like to do those on a stealthing character because then I do that one where you go in the temple of healing
Mm-hmm.
and you can stealth past the first four or
Right.
five pulls and go through the door and then do the quest. The whole thing takes like 2 minutes. Anyway, um, so that's why I thought of her for this week. So anyway, that's sort of my SWTOR weekend world. How about you, Max?
Mine's been a little bit lighter this actual week, but the MFN thing was awesome. Some stuff over the weekend was awesome. I was traveling a little bit again this week. Do we have anybody in the chat room from Philadelphia or Wilmington, Delaware? I was in Wilmington, Delaware last night and today. I finished up. I had to do a, a
Oh,
presentation for
Delaware.
work in Wilmington. My God, it's full of banks. It's a banking capital.
Yeah, well, Delaware is a tax haven, right?
Uh, I don't, is that why? Because I don't know. Wilmington is just like every bank is there, and I was there
Yeah, I
to
think
talk
I think
about
there's tons
talk
and tons
to
and
a
tons of
bank.
companies whose headquarters are in Delaware.
I uh, I finished up early though, and I had done at the airport. I had a mediocre Philly cheesesteak sandwich, and I asked someone local if there was a real Philly cheesesteak sandwich that I should go get, and I was told the place to go to, the original, what was it called? Um, Las Las Spadas, the original Las Spadas in Aston, I think is what it was. And I got a sort of like a little hole in the wall strip mall kind of place, and they did a Philly cheesesteak sandwich and a big basket of fries, and that's what I did. And I got no conquest points for it, but it was delicious.
But that sounds delicious.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was different than most Philly cheesesteak sandwiches that I've had, which are not all that authentic. Now I'm now learning, but the meat was almost minced. It was like thin cut and then chopped,
Oh, okay.
so it
Yeah,
was sort of really very finely chopped, as opposed to. I mean, I kind of like a
strips.
little bit chunkier meat on a steak sandwich like that, but I got it, and I understood what it was, and it still was quite tasty.
Did it have cheese whiz?
It had it was white, but it was sprayed cheese because
Okay.
the one I had at the airport was thicker cut beef and provolone. Well, they called it provolone. It looked provolone-ish. This was this was that. It was some sort of sprayed cheese, but it was white. It wasn't orange, and it was mixed into the meat. It wasn't like on top. So
Interesting. That is not how I pictured.
and onions, like
That's
chopped onions, like uh, diced onions mixed in as well. So it was like all mixed in on a big hoagie roll, and it was huge. It was like a 12-inch. Okay, we gotta get.
moving along.
And with
I
that,
do like the.
let's talk about the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
Okie dokie. First up in the news, in reverse order, oldest news first. Cartel coins apparently were an issue earlier in the week. I guess everyone's cartel coins disappeared. I didn't notice because I was traveling. If they did disappear for you, they should be back. You should be able to purchase normally again. It was just some sort of a glitch. It was just a glitch in the system, and everything should be okay. So no fear.
What does your note here mean? Republic credits will do.
We
Oh,
don't
I get it.
we don't take
And the
we
problem,
don't take cartel coins. Only money. That was a cue for me to do a bad impression of a Star Wars character.
so that problem was a UI issue. It's like if you, even during it, if you would have gone to the website, you would have seen your cartel coins
Hmm.
in your account.
Would
But in the
you?
game,
Would you
which is
have
where you
Seema?
actually spend them, what?
Would you
Would you?
have
Yes.
Seema?
So I read. Um, we also have some new stuff in the cartel market this week, which we don't always touch on, but um,
We don't
we
always
wanted to
review the
because of the
cartel market, but when we do, it's because there's something
right.
awesome like this. Yeah.
When we do, it's because they have a cyber accolade
Yeah.
error.
And fire
That
and things on fire.
yeah, that is the Furious Gladiator bundle.
Yeah.
It's looking super cool.
I like so here let me back it up. I hadn't originally clicked on the video. So click on the video. So it's a two-part headpiece, and the mask is up when you're not in combat stance, and then when you enter combat stance, the mask flips down
Yeah,
and fire starts shooting out of your shoulder pad. And it's got a very Mad Max feel with sort of like all the straps and bones and chains and stuff like that. And then that Mad Max feel is only exacerbated by the somebody.
or enhanced.
Yeah, somebody ruined an accolade to make this thing.
That poor accolade. Yeah, but it looks super cool.
Yeah, fire shooting out the front, and put a robot head on it, and it's got like this is very Mad Maxy with like the knee pads, the steel knee pads on the thing. This is some crazy
And
stuff.
there's new decoration, uh, the snow globe decorations. One for Andron, one for Mekshaw, one for
Do you have any of
Duxon.
those? I don't have any of them.
I have all of them.
You have? How did you get? Where did you get them? So you have the snow
Um,
globes? Are you sure you have?
yeah,
I because I have none, and they're like 30 million each on the GTN.
I bought them on the cartel market. They're 100 coins each.
On the cartel. Oh, on the cartel market for 100 coins each. Well, why are they 30 million on the GTN?
To catch people like you, I
I
guess.
guess.
But all of them are there available right now, or all of yeah.
Well,
So I
then I'm
bought them
gonna
all this
maybe I will do
afternoon.
that. Wow, because they are kind of
There's some
cool.
new toys, some news. I think there's some new toys, but there's a model class starship bundle available
I have a
now.
bunch of those. I really like those. I don't know if anybody has played with these much. One of my favorite that I can pull up here while we're talking is I have a Terminus Destroyer, I believe it's called, uh, and it's larger than any of the other ships. So it shows up as a pet. And remember, if you have any of the flying pets, you can have a flying pet and a ground pet both out at the same time, which is kind of cool. So the flying pets will just sort of like fly along with you, and the ground pet will run around. So it's a way to get more things out. What did I say it was called? Terminus? I believe it's called
Mm-hmm.
Terminus Destroyer. TT. Nope. Apparently not. Let's look in the collections. But it's these are very cool. Look under pets, but um,
So I also want to mention there's on the cartel market there's this Alderaan Nobles decoration bundle, which I look at that and I go, oh, that's interesting. I don't really see anything there. But then like I'll go look at somebody's stronghold and I'll go, wow, those are cool. Where'd you get that? And find out it's like from this bundle. It's like I do not have the vision to get these items, and decorate a stronghold to look the fantastic way many people's strongholds do. I really admire that vision.
yeah, that yeah, the people that and I've visited some people's strongholds and gotten new ideas because you can do
Right.
some crazy things with some of the decorations that you wouldn't expect to create some really interesting effects. Yeah, here's
Yeah.
my
I
model
think
terminus
I think
destroyer.
it's a learnable skill. Well, I think you by visiting a lot of and looking at pictures of a lot of different and figuring out how people did things. But yeah, I just
Oh, that is so
yep.
cool. Look at my destroyer. Here, I can make it hit you in the
Oh
face.
yeah.
Boom.
Scary.
Yeah, it's
Spooky.
large, isn't it?
Right.
Also in the news, uh, season 11 PVCP. So season 12 is starting today. We'll talk about that. But that means season 11 is finally completely done, and you should have gotten, but they're still working on calculating, especially the top 96 rewards. So those are still being processed. So there's a little bit of a delay there. If you are one of those 96 people, how many people are in the chat room? 24. So potentially we have 24 of the top 96 that are with us today. uh, if you are one of those 96 people, you're going to have to wait just a bit more to get your top 96 reward. Oh, and then finally, what's coming on Monday, Seema?
Um Monday.
Monday,
Oh, there's
Monday.
going to be a live stream on Monday.
Yeah. Oh, hey, let's go
Yeah.
to the fleet
And
while we're thinking about
yeah.
it. Of course, then we're gonna have to come back here, but that's okay. So
Yeah, there's going to be a live stream on Monday. Let's see. December 16th. They say they're going to talk about things coming in 2020,
yes.
which is an intriguing little bit right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also said if you keep an eye out, a hint can already be found on the fleets, which we know what that is
Right. This
because we went and found it, not because you know
and it's pretty
of our
obvious. So we are gonna spoil it here,
yeah
uh, but it's quite clear what the hint is, which is da 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 an Alderaan stronghold. So here we'll go
yeah
here to the fleet. So if you look here at the stronghold and crew skills, they already added the terminal. It just says coming soon, but it has a very clear picture of Alderaan sitting on it. So we're assuming it's an Alderaan stronghold because it's got a picture of Durin Mountains and one of the Alderaan castle houses up there. So
yeah.
it
A
says
lot of
coming soon.
people. Alderaan is a very popular planet. I can totally see the reasoning behind doing an Alderaan.
Yeah, the
I mean, I know
insurance
you
is going
wanted
to
a
be
Mech Shaw one.
high though, because they're
No,
not sure that it's going to survive the next couple millennia.
yeah,
Yeah, but that should be cool. I always liked Alderaan as a planet. Yeah, it's not Mekshah though, unfortunately. I I I need to create a design of the Mekshah stronghold for them. Someone who's got some art skills help me to do some sketching. I'll help. I could do some 3D modeling for it. I just very vertical with the boxes and the stacks and that I just like
the lighting. Yeah,
that would be great. That would be great. In community news, we did have our mega event, so we talked a little bit about it. That was our 12th mega of the year, our 24th mega overall monthly Epic Guild activity. Really shout out and congratulations and thanks to Marcus, our officer, who is also Marcus and Nick of the Working Class Nerds podcast, who's been running those now for a couple years. It's a great addition to the kinds of things that we do in our guild. We do Tuesday night weekly events that are a little bit more normal, and then the monthly event, which is usually on a different night, not on a Tuesday, but this week we co-opted a Tuesday just for a little bit of extra fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good event. If Snowballs would have really capped it off. I don't know why they haven't started Life Day yet, but it was really fun. We were in Plug DJ playing holiday music. We were running around doing rampage and killing war bosses and killing commanders. We were in my stronghold. So let's go to my stronghold while we
oh
finish
yeah,
up
I
the
forgot about
community
that part.
news as well. I decorated the center car of my Umbara train is a party car, like a party car dance club, and I life dayed it up but I didn't have any snow globes to go in there, which is what I was looking for. That's why I came up. That's why I was a little disappointed. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great time, and yeah, shout out to everybody who was able to come. We had like 20, 25 people there, and Marcus did a great job getting that all ready for us.
And we, since the activity was also MFN, BC did all the cat herding and getting people from world boss to world boss and commander to commander, and they worked together pretty seamlessly on it. And it came out really nice. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of MFNs, reminder on our. Do you want to give the reminder, Seema, on our plan from BC on the MFNs while I show off the stronghold here?
Sure. So lately we've been doing for our conquest, we've been doing large on the imp side and medium targets on the hub side. We're going back to rotating week by week at the end of December, starting 12/31 actually.
So
And
get your Republic
we're
characters
also,
ready. Yep.
yeah, get your Republic characters ready. And also we're still looking, when you choose, if you choose an encryption versus the crafting stuff, you can choose either one. If you're going to donate to the guild, we're still looking for command encryptions, but we will soon be switching over to engineering encryptions, but we will let you know in advance, so that it's still command for now. And also, like, no pressure. You don't have to, if you want to sell them, please sell them.
Yes, we are closing in. Oh, I didn't invite you to the stronghold, did I, Seema? That was kind of rude. We are closing in on the finishing all the unlocks on both of our ships because we've been doing 2 ships. This is my Umbara stronghold. This is where we had the initial part of our party event on Tuesday, and I did not have any snow globes, but I did have a bunch of other Life Day stuff. One of the most fun Life Day decorations, if you have any of them, are the Life Day Reveler, which is this dude who stands around. I've got a couple of them in here. As soon as you walk in, if you do not have snowflakes on you, like somebody throwing a snowball at you, uh, they will periodically throw a snowball at you automatically, which is kind of fun and hilarious. And then I've got the dance floor. See, look, he just threw a snowball at me. And then I've got the dance
You're,
floors.
you're,
And I am.
it's a very serious dance. You're seriously dancing there.
Yes, now I'm angry dancing. The dance floor is
And you're,
awesome. The dance floor will allow you to do any dance in the game. I think any dance in the game, even if you have it unlocked or not. It just you click on the dance floor and it picks a random dance, whether you have it or not, and you do that dance. So you might see your character doing dances that you've never seen your character do before. Like there, I got a little bit of a moonwalk going on. And finally, in community news, a reminder we've had entries flowing in for our Tres Comas contest, 1 billion credit giveaway sponsored by on Reddit. His name is Preferred Till New Ops. Kind of likes to go low key. He just funds it. He just makes billions of credits in the game. Really awesome guy. He plays with us in our guild. He's funded 2 of these contests before when the new ops have become available. Did it through Bad Feeling. We were talking to Brian. They're doing a short break in their podcast schedule, so Brian was working with us to get us set up. So we're running it this time around, but I'm sure we'll pull Brian and Chuck back into it before long as well. This ends January 3rd, so we've got a few more weeks here. You just have to submit a picture of any boss kill or all of your boss kills. You sort of get an entry per boss kill in Duxon. And the email address you can send it to is duxoncontest@newoverlords.com. And that will give you a chance to win. If you already completed it and you haven't done it within this month and you don't have a screenshot, you can go ahead and take a screenshot of your achievement screen, and I'll give you an entry for each of the achievement checkboxes for all the bosses that you've got there as well. So please feel free to do that, send those in, and we'll do that drawing there in the first week of January, and somebody will get 1 billion credits and instantly join the Tres Comas Club, which is awesome. And with that, what do we got going on?
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
I just need an excuse to play that. We are going to talk about 6.0.2.
I have spoken.
Those are so great. Bunch of patch notes for 6.0.2. So we'll break it
Yeah.
down here. There's more than I expected in there. Not a ton. I mean, in terms of features, but there were a couple surprises, as we were mentioning. Did we mention yet in the show, or just in the pre-show?
Not yet.
Okay, so we
Not
did
yet.
not. We will get to my favorite thing, which
Right.
it's weird that it's my favorite thing. But let's travel back to Mech Shah, because one of the top things I want to talk about is number 2 on the list. So I'll do the first one, and then you can tell us all about the second one. So the first one on their list is ranked PvP Season 12 begins. So it begins today. It has already started. You can now go do your ranked PvP. There will be a list of changes coming in Season 12 in the Warzone section below. I did not know there was a Warzone section below, so we can glance at that really quick. One of the things, I did glance at this. They added a requirement for the minimum games you need to win, in addition to the ranking that you need. You need to have played a minimum number of games to achieve any of the ranks, and that increases with the higher rank you're trying to go for. So you need to have had at least 25 wins to get bronze, at least 50 wins to get silver, at least 100 wins to get gold, and at least 200 wins if you want one of those top 96 slots. So that's in addition to the minimum rating, your rating that you're getting by going and playing matches. You need to have achieved that many wins as well. The other thing that was that I've been preparing for mentally, I don't know if it's going to end up being something I go after or I do, but
En fuego.
this round, right? This round they've brought back. Is it one of the earlier seasons? I don't know which season exactly it was. Might have been like season 3 or something like that.
I think it was back in the 90s.
It was back in the back in the 80s.
Yeah.
The weapons are the weapons that are on fire. Those are the PvP rewards for this season. So they're bringing those back, and it's the weapons that are on fire. All I want for Life Day is 2 blaster
weapons
pistols
that are on fire.
That's what I want. Which oh, see, I've got these look at these blasters that I have right now, because I've got the shells from the Onderon bolt blaster. They're like the tiny little stubs. I don't even have
blasters they're not on fire.
and they're also not on fire.
Oh wow, they are tiny.
They're like,
your guns are tiny.
I mean, it's not the size that counts, but if where are my good blasters? Well, here's these ones, but why don't I not have a tuning? Oh, I do have a tuning. It just didn't show. So these are kind of on fire. My regular tuning, which is the damaged weapon tuning, is kind of on fire, which I like, but they're not on fire like the on fire weapons. The Rancor mount that you get for this season as well is pretty incredible. I wouldn't mind that. But a couple blasters that are on, and it's just the blasters. I don't need it for my Vanguard and his blaster rifle. I don't need it for I got a really cool sniper rifle for my sniper. I just want 2 blasters that are on fire. Someone told me you need to PvP a lot in order to be able to get enough to get the weapons. I don't know exactly what that means, but I think in the next few weeks I'd like to get a briefing myself,
to find out.
And get that written up, get some guidance. Maybe someone can tell us. Maybe somebody can come on the show and tell all of us how we would go about doing that if we really wanted to PvP, do ranked PvP enough to be able to get those weapons. And hopefully people would be nice enough to me and not call me a terrible, terrible player that I should just delete my character. But I'm sure that will happen, because I don't know if I can take that kind of thing. But if I can, I may try to get some weapons.
You can do it, Max.
All right, so there's that. Number 1. Number 2, I'm excited about as well. Tell me about that, Seema.
new missions on Meksha. So
Gonna go
I
there.
went to the Meksha Trade House today and I picked up, well, I picked up the one that sends you to the Meksha Trade House, and then I went there. So I did that one. There's also, I guess, a new heroic 4, which I haven't been doing the heroics regularly, so it didn't leap out at me as a new thing, but Max says it's new, so I believe him.
No, you don't.
So that's 2 new
You did
ones.
not. You did not believe me.
I do now.
I said, I think there's a second one,
Time
Seema.
changes all things.
I saw it too. And Seema said, did you,
Did you
Max?
though?
Did you really? It's like in that tone of voice in the pre-show, and it made me doubt myself. She did a Jedi mind trick on me, and I just turned around and said, no, I don't know, maybe not. I guess I did not. These aren't the droids I'm looking for.
He's still not completely sure.
Yeah. Now, see, now I'm back here looking again. See, right there it is. Turf War. It's new. And I'll drop my
We should do
weapon.
it. We should do it.
She's gonna Jedi mind trick me all over the place.
So I did one, and
Okay.
even though they mention, she says, come back, talk. I go back and talk to her. She just says hi. So I'm guessing that you can go back tomorrow and do another one because it was a very simple quest mission and easy to do. It did have some travel. I got renown points and credits, but I did not get tech fragments.
Did not get tech fragments. Okay.
Or at
Did you get a
least I didn't
box?
see that in the chat.
Did you get like
Nope.
a purple box or no?
I know.
Maybe I'll
No.
let me pick
I
it
think it
up
was
here
just
while we're going to.
renown and credits.
Did you, Seema?
Did you? So what I didn't do is go back on another character to see if they gave me the same mission. But anyway, it was a mission to go to Tatooine and acquire some objects and bring them back. And it was really quick and simple and fun to do. So I hope they send us to like all the planets.
Yes. This sounded great to me. I hadn't because I was traveling, I wasn't around. I hadn't done it. It was great to hear Seema tell me about it, and I got kind of excited. I really like Hutbreaker's compound and the Black Market Auction House, which is just a really cool part of the game that I just love the artwork there and the scene and the setup, and this idea of a little bit of a kind of a scavenger hunt kind of thing sounded cool. And your point, Seema, that if they rotate it and it's a different place on a different planet that you're going after and doing a little scavenger hunt stuff from time to time, that sounds great. I would love for that to be the case.
And you said maybe we could bring out our oh my gosh, the digger thing again.
The seeker droid. Yeah,
yeah, seeker droid. Why can I never remember seeker droid?
yeah.
Well, you knew what I meant.
I see. I doubt that they're going to do that. But you pointed out that they have brought back the macro binoculars from time to time.
Yeah, and in just about every area, there's usually at least one or two opportunities, even Ziost, to use the macro binoculars. Well, I mean, I say even Ziost, especially Ziost. I mean, Ziost has like little vignettes that play out.
Right. But you're right. It would be cool to both bring back the seeker droid, and it would be cool for the whole little that just change from planet to planet, change each week. That would be great. Well, here I'll start it up and see if I get the same. If I also get Tatooine, that's another test we can do. I saw you're an ad for an acquisition specialist. So it's one of these where you don't have the fully voiced quest.
Yeah.
I don't like these. Aren't my favorite. I prefer fully voiced. They could just hire me because I can do an impression of any voice. I could do it for them. I saw your ad for an acquisition specialist. That sounds like it, doesn't it? That sounds like the bomb.
Yeah, it sounds exact. That actually sounds like the Mandalorian.
This is the way. I heard about your exclusive auctions. I want in. We would be thrilled to have you among our fabulously wealthy, influential clients, but I'm afraid it's not quite so simple. Nothing ever is it? Okay. Spacebar. For accepting new members, which we aren't, we usually charge a hefty fee, but I have something else in mind for someone of your considerable talents to our mutual benefit, of course. This is a a Will Smith baby that's talking to me. Um, you want me to run errands for you? Count me in. I have better things to do. Yeah, no, count me in. I'm in. Let's do this. Fantastic. Can't believe I'll upload the info to your first job to the requisition terminal. Don't forget to stop by and say hi now and then. Okay. Oh, so this just sets it up, and then here's the terminal. Terminal
Mm-hmm.
says, things Zerka left. Collect abandoned technology. Zerka Corporation, Tatooine. So mine is also Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hopefully we get to go somewhere else tomorrow. That would be great.
Yeah.
I would like that.
We'll find out.
We will. Will we? Will we, Seema?
Also coming up, Life Day, starting next week,
Yes. Yeah.
December 17th through Tuesday, January 7th. And they mention something new this year, hug Wookiees.
Right.
I mean,
Is that
yes,
just a
throw
little flavor
snowballs.
text in their patch notes, or are they adding
Maybe,
something to
like
Life
maybe,
Day?
but why wouldn't they say hug Wookiees and hug Ugnaughts and hug Ortolans? It's just,
Yeah, I don't know. Well, who would want to hug an Ugnaught?
I have spoken.
They would
a hug knot.
a hug knot. Oh. Uh yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if that's something. I am disappointed that Life Day isn't already here yet. That they
Yes, I know you are.
they couldn't get things going soon enough. I mean, it'll still be here. It'll be lasting for a couple weeks, but not that long. It's what it'll be like 3
I mean,
weeks.
when we were talking about the
3
cartel
weeks is
market, I
good.
feel like it's also good to mention because I was looking for them. There are two of the previous bundles, the 2017
Oh,
one and the Wampa Life Day bundle are both on sale right now for 40% off.
I did not
And
get
now's the
the Wampa in the
I
past.
didn't get Wampa either, but I don't have 3,840 cartel coins at the moment because I've been spending them in a profligate manner.
Profligate. That is an awesome word, isn't it, boys and girls? That is the word of the day. Yeah, I'm out of credits also. 3,800, you said? I, I
There's
can't
also
find
a
it.
Life
Is it
Day decoration bundle, but I did buy that. I don't know what character it's on because I didn't open it, but I did buy it in
Wampa
the
Life
previous
Day
year.
bundle? 2017 Life Day bundle? I think I have all the 2017 stuff. I have an Ice Day Tromper.
Yeah, I have all the
Generic
2017 stuff.
Tromper. A model Umbaran Train Stronghold. I don't know. I don't know if I've got that. But yeah, I want the snow globes, and I want the. I wouldn't mind the. Yeah, I wouldn't mind this Wampa bundle.
I wanted it, but I didn't have enough, so I bought all the snow globes instead.
I have the snowball cannon. I have the Life Day decoration bundle. This, oh, look at these little snow globes are only 100 credits each. I have the fireplace. I have the small potted tree. Oh, look at this thing, Flare Nightlife VIP. Is Nightlife event still going on?
Yeah,
No, it is not.
poor
Yeah, we're gonna
Max.
get to January 8th, and I'm gonna go. Is Life Day still going on?
Right.
I wanted to
Not
throw some
only
snowballs.
is
I haven't thrown any snowballs yet.
not only is it not Life Day, but it's also not Nightlife Day.
It is also not
Okay.
Nightlife Day. Wow. Uh, fourth bullet in their list of patch notes. So these are the major highlights, the major things. Is the 8-year anniversary. Did we find this vendor? So now we got to go back to the fleet.
Nope.
Back
Next
and forth.
week,
Oh,
Tuesday,
next week. December 20th.
anniversary personnel.
December,
A special anniversary personnel vendor. So that makes me think that we can buy anniversary personnel on this vendor.
no, I don't think so. It's
I
a
think.
it's a anniversary personnel who is a vendor, not an anniversary, not a personnel vendor. Personnel who is a vendor.
Well, there
Anyway,
are personnel
there
vendors
are
because you
personnel
can buy
vendors. You're right,
personnel.
and those are some of my favorite decorations. I like any of the
Yeah.
personnel you can buy as a decoration that pace back and forth and
Move.
walk around. Yeah, exactly. Even Melora's not bad. Melora she gestures. She speaks with her hands. I think she's Italian Sith. Sith, half Italian, half Sith in her heritage.
There you go.
Usually it's what? Usually it's pictures, posters, and I don't know, a chair. I don't know what else. All I remember for sure is a bunch of posters. Getting posters off the vendor. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think there will be some new stuff for Life Day. I don't know if there'll be a new mount, but I would not be shocked if there were. We'll see.
We'll see. December 20th is the anniversary.
I'm pretty sure there'll be a new bundle, right?
Right. This December 20th day is the anniversary of the launch of the game, and
it's the anniversary of our guild.
I dumbly said earlier during our ops night, hey, that's also the anniversary of our guild. Can you believe it? Yeah, that's because we started our guild in pre-launch and launched it on that day. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, yeah, duh. Okay, so we are also probably going to have, we usually do it in January because there's plenty of things going on at the end of the year here. We're going to have a guild anniversary party of some kind. Maybe that will be our January mega event will be guild anniversary.
Right. And if we do it before January 7th, we can throw snowballs.
We could. Well, we'll do MF. We'll do a snowball, at least one, if not multiple snowball MFNs as part of it. I'm interested to see, and everybody's kind of interested to see when that comes back on the 17th. How much renown are you going to get for throwing snowballs? As you throw the snowballs, if the reward procs where you get the tree decorations, you used to get command XP for that as well as experience. You used to be able to get command ranks by just sitting there throwing snowballs at the overheated droids all day on Nar Shaddaa, and you get quite a bit of command XP at the time. I wonder if we'll be able to get renown and get renown ranks. We're not getting all that. It's not as good as, or not as important as command XP was back in the day. There's much better ways to go off and get gear, but sit around and get some renown boxes while you're throwing snowballs and getting tree decorations. Yeah, that could be a fun
I'm sure
afternoon.
we'll have some, hopefully we'll have some trivia. That's adding an extra.
I'm sure we will.
Some extra bling to stuff we do, yeah.
Yes, from our trivia masters.
And Floridon asked a good question. Will we get conquest points? That would be interesting to know. Because
right, with the new system,
if you get renown points, you get conquest points, right?
Right, with the new system, you get conquest points for everything and anything. Same thing with renown. That should be that should be the case. I guess we'll see.
So there are a few more top level notes, generally in like general notes. They've made some adjustments so that using items on training dummies to adjust their health, you can now see that in the combat log. So you can see that if you're trying to read back and see what you've done, you can now.
And that's important for parsers, because parsers submit their log and people want to see which of the sort of prove which debuffs you applied, because that's part of the parsing process. So when you're trying to be one of those elite parsers on the leaderboards on Star Parse and Parsley.io, that's what you want to do. That makes sense.
But the next time I'm pretty interested in, corrected an issue where item rating and stats were not being properly applied on Dantooine. And I'm wondering if this is the fix for the turret mission.
Very good call. That turret mission is relatively impossible. Not impossible, because if you're doing Rampage, so this is my awesome plan. If you were doing Rampage on Dantooine, you can start the turret mission, and because you most often fail, you almost always fail, I decided, what a great idea. I'll do the turret mission, I'll fail, but you still get credit for all of the kills if you're trying to do the Rampage. You're doing 100, then you're doing 150, then you're doing 250 or whatever it is, or whatever the numbers are. So I decided that this was a good idea. I came up with it. I brainstormed, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome. I'm now okay, let me get this character, set it up. I'm going to do it." And I completed it. because I was trying to get as many as I could, trying to get the kill done, and I completed the mission.
Right,
I'm like,
because you're doing
I guess
Rampage.
this isn't
Yeah,
impossible.
it wasn't.
The
It
one time
wasn't
I actually
impossible.
wanted to
No.
not complete it, I completed it. But yeah, that I think you're spot on there, Seema. That's
I feel kind of disappointed. I think I missed something because the taxis on the Republic fleet no longer path through the environment. I never actually got into using the taxis on the fleet. I feel like I missed something because on the Republic fleet, apparently you were going right through the environment.
I don't use them. They're not conveniently located for one. For two, they're not all that fast unless you happen to be standing right next to one when you decide to go to another quadrant of the fleet. I'm not gonna like run all the way down because you gotta like run down the steps all the way to the outer spot, and then by that time I could have been, unless you're going completely to the opposite side of the fleet, it just seems completely not worth it. And even then, it's barely worth it. I think they should have, well, either they should let them click through the path through the environment, and when I say that, like like as like laser straight through, so it's super fast, or what I think would have been really effective, or what still may be effective, is just make them quick travel points. I've got zero cooldown on the quick travel. If I could just open my map and quick travel to any of the quadrants, and go exactly where I wanted to go, bang, 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 that would be much more convenient for me. So there. What about this next one?
Oh, so there was a problem for a while in operation frames where people could be displayed as having more than 100% health, and their health bar would like skew way outside of the frame, just like keep extending.
Yes.
So they're saying that they fixed that.
Yes, that's a good one.
We shall see. I didn't see it happen tonight, but
Right. But I have seen that pretty often. No, I guess we
yeah.
skipped one. I was thinking of this one, which I had not encountered. Star Fortresses now properly scale the player. Did you hear anything about?
Yeah.
Did you done Star
No,
Fortresses?
I mean, I kind of skipped that one because I haven't played Star Fortresses since they were new, and I didn't catch that they had a scaling issue.
You ever running around on a planet and you see the Star Fortress planetary compound, the little building that's on the planet? Those still exist. The last time I saw one is when we were going up to the Primal Destroyer on Belsavis. You pass one if you going there. I think on the Republic side, and you got to wind your way up. They're still there. They're still kind of a cool thing. I didn't realize they sort of added them permanently to the planets, and I didn't look up in the sky to see if the Star Fortresses were still up in the sky. That'd be interesting to check out too.
So Starry Saber and Floridon in the chat room were both saying that the internal championship had an issue where the player was getting scaled down to 65 while the bosses and their ads were still 75. So
Yikes. That's another good one.
Hopefully this is a fix for that. Yeah.
And that will be good because that's often a conquest objective, is to complete the Eternal Championship. It is again this week. Eternal Championship Champion. You get 4,000. You could do it every day. You get 4,000 conquest points, which is a good chunk. But to do you have to do the entire Eternal Championship. It's isn't it 10 fights? It's kind of long for only 4,000 points. If it was like 8 or 10,000 points, I would do it. But it's a long journey. It's much easier just to go rampage and watch Netflix.
Yeah, kill 50 dudes.
How about anything in the classes and combat section that stood out to you? I do have a couple comments.
So yeah, so what here follows is a bunch of fixes and tweaks for classes, which I urge you to look at your class of interest.
Yes.
But no, there was really nothing for me.
There wasn't a lot for me either, I don't think. I did notice down here under Pyrotech, they had a couple buffs to a couple of their abilities. I've heard Pyrotech is pretty hot. You like how I said that? I heard Pyrotech is pretty overpowered these days. There's some sort of I don't know what it is, but there's one of the, I think it's a set bonus plus a tactical does something to take one of their AoEs and spiking up to like 100,000 damage per second, something like that off of one of their AOE hits that they're able to do. This also is buffing up Perilous Flames and it's buffing up Consuming Flames. I don't know. We might see Pyrotech, Plasmatech being the flavor of the month.
I will say though, I mean, and someone mentioned this at MFN too, like I was seeing this error on my jug that an error message, you would hit an activity or you try to activate something and you get an error message that said cannot be used while stealthed. They say that's been fixed.
Good. Two things I wanted to throw in here while we're talking about classes and gear and the things that are coming up here was an addition and a correction, or let me see if I can remember what I'm trying to see if I remember. So two things. Oh, one was last week we were talking about all the sets and the best in slot sets. One of them has changed. So keep going back to the Discord
Yeah.
that we mentioned, the Theory Crafter Discord, and they are updating that post that we've linked in the pinned post in our SWTOR channel in the AIE Discord. The best in slot set for the operatives has changed because there was a bug in the tactician set that was making it not best in slot, and now the tactician set is best in slot. So this set of best in slot sets that I had copied off into my note page on the side suddenly became incorrect, and I gave out some wrong recommendation on that one in particular. Everything else was still the same, but you'll probably want to keep an eye on that over time. Those may end up changing either as they tweak things like this, and then that affects where those sets and tacticals end up in terms of best in slot ranking, if you care about that as much as you want. The other was a pro tip on how to ensure that you're using your 6-piece set bonus optimally. What you should do, this was pointed out to me, you want to be using, and this we explained this 100% correct, you want to be using 6 pieces of your favored set. So here I'm using Concentrated Fire for my Innovative Ordnance Mercenary. I'm using 6 pieces of Concentrated Fire so I can get the 6-piece set bonus. And then your 7th piece is Amplified Champion. The place you're supposed to use Amplified Champion, I picked Boots randomly. You need to use it in your head slot. The reason you use it in your head slot is so that if you ever do the dreadful entity, the one, whichever the one is in Terror from Beyond, it's the extra special bonus extra boss that takes a lot of steps to get to. One of the steps includes getting the dreadful mask, getting that dreadful mask drop off of Dreadtooth. You have to wear, each person in your raid, in your group, needs to wear that mask while you're fighting the hateful entity or the dreadful entity or whichever one it is in TFB. And since you're going to wear that, if you put it in the head slot and you put the Amplified Champion in your head slot, you're still going to get 6-piece sec bonus when you go and fight that monster. So it's a very small use case, but if you want to optimize and you think you might do that sometime, then use Amplified Champion as your head slot. So I'll throw that in there too. Okay, back to
Nice.
our patch notes. Crew skills.
So let's talk about unless we're
Yeah.
I'm done with looking at the classes. How about you?
I'm so done.
So let's talk about crew skills.
Yeah, have you checked out?
No,
Okay, well then let's
I
do
haven't had a chance. I've read through, but I haven't done any crafting.
Okay, well lay it on me and I'll click around here a little bit and check it out while you're
Okay, well, so the first thing is crafted items that are deconstructed will now always drop materials related to the profession as intended. So
good.
I thought they were doing that, so I
No.
guess there were situations where they weren't.
Yeah, my armor mech would never get any materials no matter what my armor mech deconstructed, and it should have been.
Because I mostly deconstructed on my biochems, and they were getting some back.
Okay, so there's that.
Reduce the amount of materials required to craft items of premium prototype and artifact quality, in other words, green, blue, and purple quality of those things that were introduced in Onslaught, which is something that everybody was asking for. Doesn't So I'd have to actually go in game and do some crafting to see how much they were reduced, and I would have to remember how much they cost before. And I didn't do much crafting before because I was waiting for this to happen.
Okay.
Crucible missions now drop more premium quality materials, so that is in aid of a situation we had before where you could run crew skills, and if you were not careful in which ones you picked, you could end up with more blue and purple materials than green materials, and it was making the green materials be at a premium. So that was kind of upside down. So that is intended to fix that.
Got it.
The wealthy yield crew skill missions now reward more materials, because I think part of the feedback for crafting was that the wealthy skill missions that you only get, sort of randomly from running other skill missions, so you can't run them, back to back unless you get the items, that they weren't worth it. So hopefully now they are.
Got it.
Crew skill missions that show as gray difficulty
Yeah.
have had their failure rate reduced, which means I guess you can still fail doing a gray crew skill mission.
And they did seem to be failing a lot, so that's good. It's like down here, these moderate yield scavenging missions, these gray level ones, they shouldn't be failing not very often, especially with
another thing that was really protracted was the learning of upgraded schematics. You know how you make the green item or the blue item and you deconstruct it to learn the schematic for the purple item.
This item,
increase the probability to learn an upgraded schematic from deconstruction. And I think that has already made a difference, because I've seen some guildies say that they can now make purple this, purple that.
Yes.
Just today, so they're already getting on it.
Yeah, I've definitely been waiting to do any disassembly. I didn't jump ahead, so I will soon be able to make all of the augments at the purple level as well.
So the solid resource matrices, which is a purple item, are no longer required to craft items below artifact quality. However, there are green items that still require blue items, right?
There are, right. In fact, did I not train any of them? Why do I not see any of them in my list? I might have just gotten really mad and not even trained them. There are the premium level, the green level items that you can craft that still require like processed isotope stabilizer. Now, there are a lot of processed isotope stabilizers available these days. They drop from everything. They drop from flashpoints all over the place, especially Master Mode flashpoints. They drop from the weeklies. They drop from the weekly, the GSF weekly, and et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think it's that big a deal, but still, they're just not worth it to make any of those green level the schematics. I don't even know why they're really in the game, because you get full. They're like you get full 268, right? You get full 268 or 270 as soon as you finish the class story. Why am I going to use some expensive rare materials to make a 270 armor piece? That's ridiculous. I don't understand that at all. The fact they use isotope stabilizers, it's sort of beside the point, I think. Now, they said they reducing the cost to make materials. Reduce the amount of materials required items of premium prototype and artifact quality. How much did they reduce this? This doesn't look very reduced to me.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
So the one I'm looking at, the one I'm most interested in, are these exclusive sets. The exclusive set, what you're crafting, is an exclusive set box. This box has a chest piece, a waist piece, and a head piece. So a head, chest, and waist, head, chest, and belt. To make this Armor Mech exclusive set 1 body box, you need 120 isotope stabilizers, uh, 22 solid resource matrices, and 30 legendary embers. Was this reduced at all? That doesn't sound reduced at all.
Oh,
Maybe.
that sounds maybe this item didn't qualify
Maybe it didn't
for the.
qualify. Maybe it did not.
Yeah, we would really have to talk to someone who's been doing more crafting than I have to know what the impact of this is. I think I don't know. We'll see. I have a feeling that it's not the impact exactly that people were looking for. We'll see.
This is not the impact you're looking for. Go about your business. 10 isotope stabilizers to make this blue augment. I wonder what the purple augments take to make now. That's another good question. That will be interesting to see as well. What are the more profitable crafting skills? Well, for Timbraz, I would say making augment kits and augments, but now they'll be slightly less profitable because you're going to start making them and you're going to cut into my profits there, bro. Or broette, whatever the case may be. Yeah, that's a good one. You can find niches all over the place, though. Some people really need or are going after uh, any of the unique items that you can now make. I think are going to be interesting to some people. I know a lot of people made a lot of money off of crafting relics, for example, because it's more difficult to get the exact relic that you want from time to time. Crystals sell once in a while. Color dye packs dyes sell once in a while. Um, Not a lot though. I would say crystals would be one of the least interesting because most often the most interesting crystals that you're going to want to get are cartel market crystals that go in your collection so that you can all you need is one and you unlock it in your collection. You can make an
Right.
infinite number of copies, especially if you're a dual wielder. You only need one then and you automatically get it for both your weapons, and you only can do that with collection based crystals. So I have a small collection, but I have a collection of a bunch of colors. I have more that I haven't even bothered to unlock yet, but I would only unlock them in out of collections and use them. So I have a bunch of eviscerating in particular, because we like the crit, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Especially these days, you'll always want a crit or crystal over something like a power crystal, because a power mastery, because except for Duxon and Complex Meridian, your mastery and your power are capped. Remember, because we're level synced down, mastery and power are capped. Putting a power or mastery crystal in, or using, as Seema was explaining to us earlier tonight, using a stem that's a power mastery stem, a versatile stem, does nothing in any of those lower operations. So going after the relics and the crystals that are all things like crit is more appropriate. So here I've got, for doing level 70 content, I use the Shatek Relic of Primeval Fate Sealer and the Shatek Relic of Devastating Vengeance as my two relics. One is a click relic. I have to click it and I get 2314 alacrity for 30 seconds. And the other one procs a chance to grant 2892 crit. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of diminishing returns on crit at that level because I already have 2000 crit, but still, it's not completely diminished by that point because I think about 3800 is when you start to get really diminishing returns on crit these days. So it'll still potentially be useful when it procs.
And they also made this comment that they rebalance the overall inflow ratio of materials by quality to be more in line with crafting costs. So to me, the reason that the fact that they say overall inflow, I read that to mean from all sources, like crew missions, like deconstruction, like gathering nodes, boxes that have boxes of crafting materials. Yeah. So hopefully they have that set up so they can like turn a dial, that they don't have to go in and
Yeah.
touch each thing.
Yeah. The the biggest problem there was when you're doing the wealthy or the rich yield missions, you were getting purple and blue materials like scavenging materials, and because of the way the rank the stacking crafting system works, you can't make a blue or a purple assembly component without like three times the amount of green
Yeah,
to each
green
purple.
ones. Yeah.
So you running those rich missions and getting a whole bunch of purple and blue
Right.
did you no good. So
Right. You'd end up with hundreds of blues and purples, and you'd be out of green, completely out of
so if you
green.
look at the market,
And
which
the
is a good
GTN
place,
reflected that. Yeah.
there you go. Right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So that'll be interesting. I haven't gone on to a planet and harvested nodes yet. I wonder if that's also where the balance is reflected. I mean, that seems to be what they're saying. I wonder if you get more greens in general from there as well. How about this?
Lastly, about crew
Yeah,
skills, they've added crew skill mission trainers on Onderon,
oh,
which
crew skill. Okay, crew
I
skill.
find that I always go to the fleet if I need a crew skill mission because I know where they are. I don't have to look for them.
It's so rare that you need any trainer really, but okay. All right, I get that. All right,
Um, I have gone to Narshada on occasion because I know where they are there, and I can just step out of my stronghold basically. But I usually go to the fleet.
as we're wrapping up here, because I see we're of course going long again. I guess I shouldn't
Right.
say we're going long because now this is the time that we always go to. We always go over an hour. How about in this? Well, I don't think we need to do the NPCs one, but anything in this items and economy, ranked season rewards, move to the prior year rewards vendor.
Well,
That's a
I
good
mean, the
one.
main thing I noticed that is that the personnel decorations that drop in Objective Meridian have had their maximum unlockable moved to 9.99 up from 1,
Up
which I
from
always like when
one.
they do that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they all should be 9.99. I still have
Yeah, I do
extra
too.
decorations in my legacy storage, hoping that someday they'll upgrade the amount unlockable. But this brings us to the number one feature of
Yeah. Yes, it
this
does.
entire patch. Lay it on us, Seema. What are we excited about?
Tech fragment cap has been increased to 2,000. I mean 10,000, up from
Yes.
5,000.
Yes, that is I this was a surprise. I didn't know that they were going to do it, but we've all been complaining about it. Tech fragments being at 5,000 was much too small. Uh, our buddy Kai Zeiken should be showing up tonight. Probably has.
Yeah, he
Oftentimes,
has.
I'm needing to spend typically 9,000 is 9,000 tech fragments on Kai Zeiken every weekend. If I'm getting both the schematics, which are 3,000 each, and then maybe two pieces of gear, which are 1,500 each off of Kai Zeiken, and I have to save that. It's designed that I need to save them up to get to the weekend. And then I get to the weekend, and well, now I'm behind the plan because I was not grinding tech fragments this week. But you couldn't save it up to buy anything more than like one piece in one of the schematics, and you had to grind a bunch of tech fragments over the weekend.
Right.
So this is great. There, little mini rant
Yeah,
that
this
is now
this this
solved.
will take some of the fiddliness out of it. Which is good.
Yes, and now I can stop raging about it. So that is a good one. Uh, and we talked about all the Warzone ones. So this last section, was there any highlights that you had out of the missions and NPCs that you
Um,
wanted to bring up?
just that this one, I know you wouldn't have noticed this, and I didn't either. I mean, a friend told me about this. That if you do fail the Junker Jot's crew or a matter of respect, like if you get killed in either of those missions, if you went back in, all the ads would have respawned. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that means that will no longer happen. Like if you've cleared to the last boss and then you somehow messed up and died on the last boss, you don't have to do the entire heroic all over again. So that's a good thing.
They would also respawn while you're standing in there, even if you completed them.
Oh, maybe that's what they're referring to more so then. I did not know that.
Yeah, so I had that happen a couple times. I completed it. I'm still standing in there, after killing the last mini
Because you're
boss.
thinking about where to go next.
Yeah, looking at my inventory, looking at whatever items dropped out of the boxes or whatever, and all of a sudden there's a
Right.
heads respawning, and you're in a
Shooting
heroic
you.
too, so there's serious business. You look, you hide your inventory screen and you look up and you're half dead. And Shea Vizsla's yelling at you, "Hey, you need some help? I'm dying here."
But apparently
blah,
she's not saying
blah."
timber anymore.
Timber. Hey, that's what she just said.
I know this is important,
What?
but I miss the camaraderie.
She says what?
We make a good team.
We make a good team. Yeah, we do, Shea Vizsla. This is the way.
Yes,
Yes.
This is the way.
we make a good team.
Oh, her mouth. I didn't know their mouths moved.
We make a good team.
Their mouths move when they talk. How did I never notice this? How many years has this game been out?
Standing around rarely accomplishes anything.
Wow, look at that. Their
Well-
mouths move even when they're standing there talking to you. This is a great game. This MMO is a great MMO.
Yeah, Starry Saber, there is an item that she's finally learned that she's not fighting trees, so she's not gonna say timber all the time.
Standing around rarely accomplishes anything.
Okay. Yes, thank you, chat room.
I have spoken.
And
I don't remember her saying timber a lot. I remember her saying not even a challenge, and yeah,
yeah,
that's the one that stands out for me.
they all have a couple things they say when they kill people. Yeah, when they make a kill. I think she just was overusing that
He's not
phrase.
getting up.
Oh, there we go. There's Comcast kicking me off the network. So maybe that is a sign that we should be wrapping things up for the evening. One more shout out for I'll put this screen up as our closing screen. Our Tres Comas contest. Get those entries in, and I think with that we can wrap up for tonight. Look forward to next week. Next week we will have Life Day being available, and I think for us it's going to be we're going to give ourselves a break the week after the day after Christmas. Give ourselves a little break. So next week will be our last podcast of 2019, our last podcast of this decade. We will probably do a year in review retrospective and probably hang out and throw some snowballs around on Nar Shaddaa. So be ready for that as well. And with that, our EPC 320 droid can be kicked out on airlock to broadcast this podcast to all of you. Please keep up with us on Twitter at Max the Gray and at AIESEMA. And if you know any cool people that should be playing the game with us, tell them to come check us out. They can find us on Starforge or AIE-guild.org for an AIE Guild invite. They can find our Guild Discord there as well. They can jump in our SWTOR channel. They can get SWTOR notifications and our little welcome message. They can jump in there and say, "Hey Max, hey Seema, hey any of you officers in there, give me an invite, Republic or Imperial. We would love to have you." And we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.